Welcome everybody. Here I am in beautiful Santa Barbara. I am standing in front of the Old Mission Church. It is a beautiful church. It is a beautiful night. We are going to do a yoga workout tonight, a 20-minute workout that focuses on opening up our pelvic floor area and extending out those hip flexors, giving it a nice stretch, and really working some of the hips. So we'll be down on the mat for most of this workout, but let's start off with some standing poses. So bringing our legs to hip width apart, our toes are pointing in slightly, our heels are out, and we're bringing our shoulders back, our shoulder blades down. Let's center ourselves. Let's allow our mind to come to the present, allow ourselves to just focus on our body for the next 20 minutes. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose and a nice long exhale through the mouth. Engage those core muscles as you extend that torso nice and long. Extend that spine, lengthen that spine. Bring those shoulders back. Take a nice deep inhale again and a nice long exhale through the mouth. Now bringing your fingertips together, let's jump or step our feet apart. We're coming into Trikhanasana. Bring that right foot out, bring that left foot in, and coming down. Reaching across that front leg and reaching down towards your shin. That palm is facing in. Your fingertips are pointing up towards the sky. You are looking up. Holding this pose. Feel those inner thighs working. And slowly coming up. Let's bring ourselves to the other side. Extending your arm out long across that front leg and coming down onto your shin. Again, extending those fingertips up towards the sky. Your hand is in line with your shoulder. You are looking up. Working those inner thighs. Don't lock the knees. Keep them slightly loose, but make sure those legs are straight. And coming up. Bringing ourselves around to the other side again. Let's come into warrior pose, bringing that knee down. Your knee is in line with your heel. Your toes are tracking forward. Your back foot is firmly planted into the mat. Your torso is nice and long. You're looking towards that front hand. With the next breath, come down a little bit lower. And coming up nice and slow, switching those feet around and coming over to the other side, bending that front leg, bending that front knee, and looking towards that front hand. Keeping those arms nice and strong. Your hands are in line with your shoulders. Coming up with that knee, straightening that leg, bringing your hands down onto your hips. Let's now come forward, bringing yourself down towards the ground. Your fingertips are on the ground. You're keeping that back nice and straight. Your toes are pointed in slightly. If you can bring your forehead closer to the ground, come all the way down. Bring the top of your head down to the mat. Your elbows are bent. And now bringing your head up, walking your hands forward again, looking forward. With those feet firmly planted into the mat, bring yourself up nice and controlled, bringing your hands back onto your hips. Let's bring those feet back together, coming back into Tadasana. Again, shoulders are back, belly button is tucked in. Extending that spine nice and long, looking forward, taking a few breaths here. And let's bring ourselves back to the end of your mat. Coming down into Uttanasana. So coming down, your fingertips are on the mat. Your feet are about hip width apart. Walking your hands forward, coming into downward dog, extending those arms out long, coming up onto your tippy toes. Really raise those heels nice and high. Make sure your arms are lengthened out towards the opposite end of your mat. Your metatarsals are spread out wide. Now walk your feet towards your hands, coming back into Uttanasana. Coming down a little bit further this time, closer towards your shin, bringing your forehead towards your shin, bending your elbows, coming down. Placing your hands down, let's walk our feet back now. Seeing if you can bring that forehead closer to the mat. Extend that buttocks back. Bring those heels closer to the mat. Now bringing your knees down to the mat, your toes together, your knees apart, coming forward, placing the forehead onto the mat. Keeping those arms lifted, your forearms are not touching the mat. Tucking the toes under, coming back into downward dog. Bringing your right leg forward, bending the knee, tucking that foot into your pelvis, right near that pelvic bone, that left pelvic bone. And coming down over that knee, coming onto your elbows. And bring that forehead down now. So you're coming all the way over that front leg, across your shin, across your calf. You can feel the opening in your hips, in your hamstring, in your buttocks. And with your back leg, you'll feel a bit of extension in that hip flexor. Bringing yourself back up. Let's bring that bent knee, bent leg out a little bit further. So now your foot is more in line with your knee. And coming forward again. This will be a stronger opening in the hips. And now bringing yourself up and bringing that right leg back, coming back into downward dog. And now bringing that left leg forward, bending that knee and tucking that foot into your pelvic area right near your hip bone. Sitting nice and tall for now. Extending that leg back behind you, nice and straight. And now come down onto your elbows. Bring yourself all the way across that front leg, that bent knee, that bent leg. And coming down with the forehead. Now bringing yourself up and extending that front shin out a little bit so that that foot is more in line with your knee, and coming forward again, coming onto your elbows. Feel that stretch in your buttocks, in your outer hip. And now coming up, coming back into downward dog. Extending those arms long, extending those legs long behind you. Really lengthen that spine. Now coming forward with the right leg again. This time your foot is firmly planted into the mat and you're placing that back knee down and coming up into a lunge. You can feel that stretch in your hip flexor. Really bringing yourself up nice and tall. And now bringing those hands back down to either side of your foot and coming back into downward dog. And bringing that left leg forward now, planting that foot firmly into the mat. And coming up, placing your hands on your front knee, just below the knee. Feel that extension in your hip flexor. Really want to get opening in the pelvic area tonight. Coming down, placing those hands on either side of that foot, coming into downward dog again. Let's now bring that right foot forward again. Our heels are in line with each other. We're keeping that back leg up and staying nice and low, maintaining that balance, keeping that back leg extended so you're not bending that knee. You have it nice and straight, keeping that front leg bent. Your knee is in line with your heel, bringing those arms up, and your palms are facing in. Reach for the sky, looking forward. Hold that pose, keep it strong. Really work that back leg. Feel that hip flexor really extending. Breathe into it. Hold it. Extend those arms up even higher. Lengthen that spine. And coming down, back into downward dog. And bringing that left leg forward now. Heels are in line with each other. Your back foot is at a 30-degree angle. Your toes are spread out nice and wide. Your hips are facing towards that front knee. Bring those arms up. Palms are facing in, looking forward. Extend that back leg long. Feel that hip flexor really stretching. Work those quads. Breathe into it. Come down a little bit lower. And coming down, placing both feet back. You're now up on your toes again. Coming up nice and high. Extend those arms long. Now bringing that right leg forward again. This time we're extending our right leg long. It's straight. Your heels are in line with each other. You're bringing that chest down towards that front leg. Feel that hamstring really working. Focus on the back leg for a moment. Press that back heel in firmly. Feel that back calf really working. And bending the knee, coming back into downward dog. And now switching sides. Your heels are in line with each other. You're extending the front leg long. Both legs are straight, not bending the knee, but not locking the knee either. Coming down nice and low, bring that chest down towards your shin. Bend the elbows, coming down. Feel that lengthening in the hamstring. And placing the palms down on the mat, bending the knee, coming back into downward dog. Bending those knees, placing those toes together, extending those knees out wide and come down into Virasana, placing the forehead on the mat, just resting here for a moment. And now coming up nice and slow, Let's come into cross leg position. So bringing your right leg in front of your left leg, crossing at the shin, not at the ankle, and not too far up that shin. You want a nice straight line here in front of you. And lengthen that torso. Let's come forward across those legs, bringing your arms out in front of you. You're on your fingertips. You can feel, again, this is a nice lower back and glute stretch. Walking those fingertips over to the right. Feel that side body extending long. Really reach over. Bring that chest over that right knee. Now walking your hands back to center and walking them over to the left now. And extend that chest over that knee, coming down a little bit further. Now coming back over to center and slowly bringing yourself up. Extend your legs out long in front of you, sitting nice and tall. Let's change the cross of the legs. So bringing that right leg in and the left foot in front, coming forward again. And see if you can get a little bit more extension. Really keep that buttocks firmly on the mat as you extend forward. Walking the hands over to the right again. And now coming back to center. And coming over to the left. Find yourself coming a little bit further again. You can almost bring your forehead down to the ground now. And now coming back to center. Extending out nice and long. Bring that forehead down to the ground if you can. And then slowly coming up. And coming into a comfortable cross-legged position now, so you can change the cross of those legs if you want, or keep them as they are. Let's place those hands on your knees. Bring the shoulders back. Open up that chest. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a few breaths here. Nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And another deep inhale. And nice long exhale. And with the next exhale, bring those palms together. Place them in front of your chest. Bow your head. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. That was a nice short workout that, again, focused on our hip flexors and our hips. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Looking forward to working out with you again next time.